Hi, everybody. Welcome. Yes, it's Nick and Barb today, live streaming to multitude of places. Of course, we're like three Facebook pages and a YouTube channel. Not forgetting that after the event, because we are going to get a lovely high definition recording as well. Not forgetting that actually then I'm going to be dropping it into a lovely little bit of software and be clipping it up. So you'll be seeing between now and next week, you're going to get daily little clips of me and Barb doing our stuff on this live stream. So you're very, very lucky. Well, I say you, that'll be people in that'll be people on my page. Entirely up to lovely Barb whether she shares these clips or not. But I shall make them available to you, Barbara, because I'm a good like that. Because we are a team after all.
Yeah.
And just a mere mention of her name and like Tinkerbell in whatever Tinkerbell was in. She appears on screen. Hello, Barb. Happy happy birthday to Gary today.
Thank you. It's great to still have him around.
The old boy is still going well.
Yeah. I had several in my ballooning community that have birthdays today too. So good
Oh,
day to have a birthday, and it's not on President's Day. I'm sure you heard about that.
yeah. Now President's Day was yesterday, I believe.
Right, right. So I'm
And
sure
what
you
happens?
guys
What,
you didn't celebrate that, did you? You
what celebrate your president? Nah. Funny enough, didn't occur to me.
just So how did your week go? Mine was absolutely insane. And then just while my mic is hot, my daily habits, and I think it's like I keep them in a text document to remind me that I have them. And I'm thinking,
You do.
well, if I get dementia soon, all I've got to do is remember that text document. As you reach a certain age, you're going, oh my God, what's going to happen if I can't remember everything? But
Oh,
one of my daily habits, of course, is to check into my Facebook groups to see if there's any people that I need to add to the group, or
yes, of course.
we call it our daily maintenance. I do that. And then we've started these school communities, and that's the second stop. Go
Yeah.
there. And of course, I belong to the schoolers group, and that is a
Yes.
group that you automatically get entry in if you pay to play, so to speak. And for nine, we have these communities. You can start at the $9 level,
Yeah.
uh, or $99 a month. If you want to
Indeed.
go the pro level. And Nick has done both, and I came in at the $9 level because I have been known for 40 years to be a beta tester and see if I think it's going to work out.
That's
And
it.
I was really surprised that I got this notice from the schoolers group about PLR, private label rights
Yes.
content. And I know that I had turned you on to a friend of mine that I have been buying PLR products from uh, since the 90s, I think it was, or shortly into the 2000s, but a
Yeah.
long time. And PLR stands for private label rights, but it's just like, if you go way back, a clipping service. If you
Yeah. Yeah.
back, because I came from traditional media, and you could subscribe to clipping services that would give you ideas of things to write or outlines, so forth and so on. And right away, one of the top, in on that particular platform, if you're performing well, you get, and I mean, that's like super active. You start getting these little symbols by your name, and one of them is the fire. It means that member is on fire in their school groups.
Wow. Like that. Yeah.
And so in that group, she had a friend of mine who actually he actually writes PLR and sells PLR. He was in that group, and he put a very informative post on what PLR was and how to
Okay.
use it, kind of thing. It was very educational, and I thought, if you're a coach or you're a consultant, that's something you want to know. And just like what you're doing with your community, and pointed you to it, and you're not going to believe it, but the first thing she did, this particular member that has a little fire marker by her profile, she went and referred him to uh, the terms of service, the acceptable use policy for school on for PLR. Said, you need to look at that, telling him like she knows it all. One of those kind of posts. She knows it all, and of course,
We love a
all
know-it-all.
well, that's of course my famous label, but infamous label, I'll say. But so I went to her post, and I followed the link like she suggested, and clear enough, I thought, oh, I've got Copilot writing side by side here. I'm just gonna in my browser, I'm just gonna ask it. I'm gonna tell it I was sent to that page, and what does it say about private label rights? And
Yeah.
right away it took me to the very same thing that I've been saying for years, and so
Oh, hold
I
on, Bob. You've gone a little bit quiet on me.
is it just you?
I don't know.
I can hear you. I don't know if the world can hear me. If anybody's watching out there, let us know you're
Yeah,
here.
do let us know, guys.
If you can hear Nick. Well, if you can hear Nick and if you can hear me.
Yeah,
I'm not getting any notice that I'm not
yeah. You
uh,
just suddenly went. You just suddenly gone down a couple of turns on your microphone.
you
By the
know
sounds,
what? Can you hear me fine now?
I'll turn my speaker up.
Can you hear me now? Oh, that was an ad. Can you hear me now?
Can you?
Remember that? Years and years. What was that? Was that MCI? I remember that.
Can you hear me now? I don't know. That might have been just in the US. I can hear you.
Oh
I can hear
wait.
you. I can hear
Yep.
you good enough, Barb. But I'm not sure how loud you are on. If you're watching and you can't hear Barb, just turn your speakers up a touch. That's
And
that's what I've done.
okay, well, let me check mine. I'll check my speakers just to make sure that they're okay.
Yeah, because we
Everything
wouldn't
is
want to miss any
working
of your little
fine.
gems, your little nuggets of wisdom. Because this is interesting.
Anyway,
I do like the fact that we talk about PLR because, like you say, a lot of people don't really know how to use it to the best benefit and what you can actually do with it, um,
exactly. And
which is always good.
exactly. And particularly if it's PLR I use, which this particular gentleman who wrote the article, it's PLR, that I use. I have gleaned them all since. Okay, thanks, Bruce.
Thanks,
Bruce
Bruce.
Bruce Garber says that he can hear us fine. I I didn't leave that on very long, Bruce. Let me give you credit.
I think we both
Oh God, I
don't
need
give me a
another
button
cup of
to press,
coffee.
Barb. I'll press it.
If you want to join us in here, just message me. I'll give you the link. The link while I drink.
Cool. Right. Oh, good. I'm glad everyone can hear you, Bob. So yeah, you were saying then about the PLR. This lady with the fire starter, by
Right.
her thing. So she was a bit of a know it all Nelly, and pointed
That's a
about to
good
the
one.
fair terms
Yeah.
of use. What was she having a go at then? What was
All
her
she did was,
reasoning for
be
this? Her
being
reason d'etre?
helpful. All she did was provide the link to the acceptable use policy, but it was the fact that they were saying, even consultants and coaches, you can't be charging them for your coaching and consulting or your products through their payment system, and it's really not their policy. It's of the uh, service that they use to process the payments.
Yes.
So, and that's been that way forever, I think. But instead of, it's like taking things out of context, and
Yeah.
it's important to read the uh, fine print and really understand what folks are saying. So
Hmm.
that
I,
was my
I,
first.
I, yeah, I get that, Bob, but I would never dream of using school to charge for like a coaching session or anything like that. You have your own payment gateways.
Right.
Why do you want to stick a barrier into that? That's a bit
So
strange.
speaking of payment gateways, which
Yeah,
ones do you use?
I use Wise and Stripe and PayPal pretty much.
Yeah, I'm a Stripe and PayPal user myself.
Yeah, I like
I
Wise,
yeah,
and the reason I like Wise is because, of course, I do a lot of my things. I'm in the UK, so deal with pounds, but of course, a lot of my products, virtually all of them, are priced in dollars. So, and that's a
right.
nice, easy way to transfer it. It can sit, the money can sit in the dollar bit until it's looking good, and then I can transfer it over.
Exactly. And that and they use Stripe, and it's like, oh, hey, that's standard operating procedure. But I think anyone, if you're going to establish a community, it's like way back from when you were learning history, even, by country. If you want to go in and put, if you're from one country and you want to go live in another country, you have to learn their rules before you do it, before you make that choice.
Yeah,
And
that would be
so,
the ideal.
but
I don't.
on the we're all addicted to pressing the button, so it's like, well, let me play, and they don't pay attention to it. So
Yeah, exactly.
anyway, there was nothing abnormal, and I thought the way that they do handle it, is very professional.
Oh,
I
good.
mean, if you've got people like, I mean, Tony Robbins is an internationally known name, and he's on that platform. He has started the community on that
Oh, has
platform
he?
as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. I think that when we look at there's lots of players on there that I was totally unaware of that they were there, because if you're nurturing your communities, and the whether you're just a
Hmm.
member or whether it's your community, you've got to be there. It's showing up
Yeah,
is very important. That's why we're here today, right?
yeah, exactly.
Showing
That's why we're here and not live streaming on our school communities.
right. That's true too. Well,
Yeah,
of course, we use different live streaming applications to help us with our lives,
we do.
and that's how we met in using one of our favorite uh, live streaming
Yeah.
applications. But I see that in your community that you are running, in your school community, you are actually providing instruction on doing their lives there, are you not? Seems to
Yes.
me that I was running through there, and now with your permission we could actually show inside your community
Having a
if you
little
want
route
to,
around. You, of course, we can. Yes, absolutely.
where what's happening there. Nick has just gone off the deep end. He said, let's just do it. And he has started his community over there. When did you start that community, Nick? I know that you were in
Would have been
on,
about this time last year.
was it? Okay.
Yeah, probably
Okay.
February time. Not having knowing nothing whatsoever.
Yes. Well, my friend Madeline Sklar uh, uh, actually brought my attention to it, but I had been on that community, didn't even know I'd been. You, as a member, if you're looking at Nick's community, and you just because we have a link running at the bottom on the banner in the bottom there that you can catch. You can join his community on school. I also have one um, over there. It's for the people that um, are really into my story, what I'm doing, and so Nix is one that has been growing pretty fast recently. So you want to show them
Yeah,
what's there?
yeah. So when you come in, and it's been growing quite fast because I've actually now got my head around growing it. So in the same way that we teach how to grow a Facebook profile, in order to have your ideal audience because it's called the Digital Income Freedom Hub. So I'm looking for potentially Gen Xers that are looking to create affiliate marketing or generate some extra income, or maybe they're BizOps seekers. You know what it's like. You get to a certain age and suddenly you realize, damn, my pension's nowhere near big enough, and you realize you need some catching up to do. So I know that sort of thing. You need to get extra income. Back in the old days, often referred to as back in I think it was like the 80s, 90s, early 80s, no, late 80s, early 90s, and in the UK, house prices were as almost unattainable as they are now. And yeah, you had to get another job to pay your mortgage. That was just the hard fact of life. So myself and lots of other people, we'd go get bar work. So we'd go do our 9 to 5 job, race home, change our kit, and then race out to do a bar job in the night time. So, but now, thank goodness, we have the internet. So there's a much better, easier ways we can actually make money from home. So this is basically what the Digital Income Freedom Hub is all about. So how we share strategies, look, we've got a co-working session happening on Friday. So Friday afternoon, little co-working session. Anyone who's in this free community, and there's 325 of them, as you can see down there. Anyone can come in and basically, we work together. So we have 10-15 minutes, just a quick hi, what you're up to, and then a 45-minute of focused work, and then a little bit of accountability afterwards. So it's a really good way of, particularly if you're working on your own, to focus your mind and bring everything together. So that's why I did that. Just testing it. It's been going for the last few weeks. Out of it, fun enough, we've got a new shameless promotion now. Myself and a lovely lady called Jodie. We're both Gen Xers, and she has a passion for music. She really should have been a Rolling Stone journalist or something like that. She knows all about music and the history. I've just got a good memory, and so we're starting a new podcast tomorrow. I've got what we're calling it now, Needle Drop Nation, and we'll be promoting the heck out of it later on today and all day tomorrow. Just a 30-minute podcast where we're going to talk about what Gen X covers musically, and it starts in 65 and finishes in 1980. But of course, us Gen Xers, even if we were the beginning of that, we were still loving music in the 80s, so we'll carry on. And we're basically going to break it up into like little 5-year periods and chat about the music in those times, because there's an awful lot. And it's interesting to see, it was born out of the idea, we get chatting about it, and an hour and a half later, it's a case of, I really got to do some work now. so we just have a nice little, Jodie described it as a love letter to the music that we grew up with. So that's my plug out of the way. Back to the hub. So there's a nice little community element. So we've got some pin posts where people come and introduce themselves and the like. But then we got general discussions.
Let's look at your classrooms.
Let's have a look at the classroom. So you got a start here, which basically just shows you some. Here's a good one. So people start, how do you get so much done in a day? Well, there's 20 minutes of a speeded up, my daily method of operation for finding new people on Facebook. And so we can go through these elements. But then we got other courses. So everything's free apart from the things that aren't free. So we've got this free training aside, and this is where I'm busy putting in extra training. So we've got DaVinci training, we've got ebook creation. And that was one we put in there the other day. So that was literally going through creating an ebook. I remember you seeing this one, Barb. Wanted to check how to create a 10-page ebook, and I think it's 12 pages.
And it got me because back when I got online, of course, before Amazon, and the first thing I could see, because it was a book was text based, and I was working in that realm, it was like with all of the major publishers, and getting them online. And so being able to there actually was a product called Flipbooks. And I would have to do the research on that, but I was one of the beta testers of it and used it for quite a while. They had it in proprietary, and then all of a sudden, out of proprietary, a Flipbook application was developed, and all kinds of software developers
Mm.
could add to it as they do, and so it became a thing. And now one of the things that we teach, because I worked as a consultant before coaching was a thing, so to speak, and so coaching and consulting is particularly in those categories, and sharing their knowledge in books was a real deal. And so when you said 10 pages, it really caught my attention because I thought of Bezos and him talking about the flip books, and he said, well, that's not a real book. That's not a real book. But as long as it covers the topic and gives you the answers you want, you know, why do you buy? What makes you
Ex-
click?
yeah, exactly. And these things you don't really write these books for yourself. I mean, this one, look, create your own ebook in under 6 units using AI, and it was just that makes an ideal lead magnet. Is perfect.
Yeah,
This one was about how to do things. Uh, yeah,
exactly.
using Instagram and the like, and it's great. So and it's I think in a flip book, one of the things that we often talk about in one of my affiliate groups is everyone can do everything, okay, but what sets you out as the real people that are in the top couple of percentiles is you go the extra mile. So if you've got an ebook lead magnet, for example, and it's just a standard PDF, go that extra mile and make it a flip book, because it's the whole experience of it is so much nicer than just scrolling a PDF. It's just that different feel. It's just doing those things which set you out just that little bit differently, and that's one of the things that we
Well,
try to embrace.
right. I mean, you're welcome to click on it, because you can hear the sounds of the book. I mean, it's like the flip book. You can hear the pages turning, but also if you're live streaming, it's a wonderful way to share your knowledge.
Yeah.
Um, uh,
So
while just like the position that Nick or I and I are in right now, your book can be beside you as you cover those areas. Now you can even do this if if you're publishing traditionally. You, I mean, if you come from that background, you know you have to promote your book, and so you
yeah.
can do a summary of your book as a flip book, actually, and send them to your community that's online, that you can just flip on the contents of what your book would be, just a summary of each page, and teaching your audience or sharing your knowledge with your audience there, and they want to come back for more. So I was excited that you were doing that. I know that.
Yeah, I like it, and the nice thing is anyone can read it. Then, of course, this is as a lead magnet for me. This is the Instagram income blueprint. Instagram is very very big on people's incomes these days, or courses. But mine just a nice book, shows you how to do it. Then it's got a nice little clickable link, which then takes you to the court to the community. So that's a nice little ebook that people can read.
Exactly.
They can just it brings you
Well,
into your.
that's while I have you here with me today, that was the most impressive thing that you've done in the group as far as I'm concerned at the moment, because it ties in everything that you're doing. If you like, for instance, I mean, the affiliate program that you have, your instructors teaching others how to do that, it
Hmm,
makes it so much more lively and interactive because, like I said, you could be on the side like Nick and I were as he was showing that, and flipping your book at the same time.
yeah,
And
exactly.
it definitely keeps the audience attention, and it also is very real. You don't have to worry about doing a slideshow. It's just follow along with me in my book.
Exactly. It is that simple. It's the simplicity that we sometimes like to overcomplicate, and then we lose our audience. We can keep it nice and simple. And for a lot of people, especially with affiliate marketing, is these people go rushing in and they think, yeah, I can just put a piece of content, people will click it, and I'll make money. And it's not like that at all. you have to actually, you know, nurture and bring people in and lead with massive value, because ultimately, at the end of the day, people just do not buy. You know, very rarely do people just go onto Facebook or other social media and buy something straight away from you. See a link, go, oh yes, I desperately need that. They're not in that frame of mind at all. And so if there's something that suddenly is like piques their interest, and then they can go back to, and then click just for more information, you're just, you know, you're warming people up. And often when I talk to this about people, when I talk about this to people, I often use the example of Jim Fortin, of an ambassador for his transformational coaching programs. And I must have consumed, I don't know, 100 plus of his podcasts, and then a couple of his free little mini courses and a couple of his little mini paid courses before I knew, liked, and trusted him enough to part with several $1,000s for his transformational life coaching and transformational sales programs, which, you know, again, were just massive value. And God, you know, even paying thousands of dollars for them, I think that was pretty cheap. But the whole point is, if you're going to be selling high ticket items, yeah, you need to lead with lots of value, and you're not going to do it overnight. It takes time to build up, you know, audience, to warm people up and allow people to come into your world and get to like you. You know, that's the thing. And then it becomes easier, because you're not actually selling. You're just explaining and sharing and saying, look, if you want it, have it. If you don't want it, not a problem. It's you know, but everyone jumps in, and I was exactly the same when I first started. Jumped in, spent tons and tons of money on ads, not really knowing how to market even without ads. So it's one of those things we often talk about is, yeah, for digital marketing, learn marketing. There's a key.
Exactly.
Let me say, and immerse ourselves in it. That's the other thing.
Exactly. But I do think that's the one application, and I can, from the very beginning, from the get-go, as far as something in your toolbox to have. And I'm very excited about what you're doing with that in your group, or with, we call it groups because we've all been in Facebook for so long.
I know.
It is our community. And, and
It is,
so,
and I know. And next week, Bob, what I'll do is I'll kind of record, or certainly document, what I do from today till next week, as to what I'm doing to build my school community, so people can actually see. So we're on 300. So we're on 325 today. So let's see how much we can get up to next week, and I'll show, and I'll record and document exactly what I've been doing on a daily basis in order to grow it.
And then you can actually take your recording, the transcript from that, and go to ChatGPT and create a book from that, and put that book in your flipbook. And actually, you can put that video in your flipbook. Did you know that?
Yeah, you can have videos.
You could actually be very interactive and actually have your video that you're sharing within that flipbook.
I know, it's scary, isn't it? What we can do. But the biggest thing though is, yeah, we can provide and generate all that content and all that value, but we need, and the reason we build groups is because we want to build an audience that can actually see it. That's actually interested
people. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like-minded people. That's for sure.
Exactly. That's how we got together, Barb.
Absolutely. And I do, just like I said, I do believe it is connecting. If I'm so sorry, is by connecting this way. So thanks so much for joining me this morning, and I hope
always
you have
a pleasure.
Great rest of your week.
Yeah, we'll do. Listen, what are you doing to celebrate Gary's birthday? It's loads of days today. It's Chinese New Year and Shrove Tuesday, Pancake Day.
Very good, yeah. I am fixing, you know what? I'm so glad you asked that. I'm going to make your mouth water. Do you not like barbecue?
Yes, I do.
I have never known anybody that didn't like barbecue.
Yeah,
and yesterday I said to him, you know, our traditions on anniversary and for birthdays is to have barbecued ribs. And
Ooh.
we love to have we I used to slow cook them. You'd put them in the oven in the morning at like 225, and you'd get them out at
Ooh.
4 in the afternoon. And they would be so tender, the meat would just fall right off of the bone. But I had this Texas style barbecue sauce that,
Oh.
I mean, to tell you, I mean, I inherited it. My mother inherited it from her grandmother, and I inherited it from my mom. And but darn if I didn't leave that up at my resort property in Central Oregon. As my, back in the day, we had recipe cards that you put
Yeah.
in a recipe. They started with metal ones, and then of course plastic. They introduced them, but had to have that recipe card. And yesterday on Facebook, I'm telling you, I actually saved the content because it's like I wonder if I can create that new again. Uh, because I am who I am. I thought, well, you know the ingredients, Barb. You could do
Yeah.
this. But so we're going to have adventures in barbecue today.
Whoa.
But I found cookbooks that were 40 years
Oh.
that I had collected because, my father was a cook in the army, and he's the one who was responsible for me cooking,
Yeah.
learning to cook. Because my mom, like I think I shared with you before, her mom was a caterer, worked for a caterer, and
Yeah.
did that. And then on my dad's side, all of the women were, they were, could cook for big hunting camps, and they were all
Yeah.
experts in
And I tell you,
cooking.
that's a real skill to
Yeah.
cook mass catering, to cook for several, people, 20 plus
Oh,
is
they back in
is a
those
big skill.
days,
Yeah.
family was big, and it was a pinch of salt. And do you know what a pinch of salt is? I mean, we have all these tools to measure salt these days when you think of it, something that simple. And our grandparents would say, oh, just add a pinch of salt. It's like, what's that?
Yeah.
How much is that? And salt is something that can definitely ruin a meal. But I'm telling you, with barbecued ribs,
Yeah. I would
just
say I'd
add
err on the generous side.
right. You have to watch my profile later today. I'm going to include one of
Will do.
my
I think
cookbooks
you
that
should record it. Coming to a school community near
oh,
you. We'll have the Cooking with Barb community.
that's what I thought. That is one of the because cooking is also an art.
Yeah,
And a lot
Barbie with
of
Barbie.
you get me. You so get me. Thanks again so much for joining me
Oh,
today. We've
my pleasure.
definitely
Absolutely,
been
I
going
love it. As I
long.
say, every week I love broadcasting with you.
So
So it's all been fun.
next week we'll talk about barbecue.
Yeah, let's do that. maybe I'll move my camera downstairs and I'll actually make my lunch.
Good for you. Have a
Brilliant.
great rest of your week.
You take care, Bob.
Thanks.
Goodbye,
Bye
everybody. See
bye.
you again, same time next week.